Hey everyone, it's Sammy from Push Square, and it looks like those IT issues which I mentioned in my previous video have temporarily been put behind me, and that's good news for the channel, but it's also good news for my mental health because last week I was tearing my hair out wanting to cover this PS4 firmware update 4.5 stuff, and one of the videos that I wanted to make pertained to PS4 Pro boost mode, which obviously wasn't announced on the PlayStation blog, but then emerged via a screenshot from the Japanese beta and was later confirmed by Sony. And what it does is it allows the extra horsepower in the PS4 Pro to be used by games that aren't specifically patched for the system. Now, those of you that have got a PS4 Pro will know that games had to be updated to support the new console, and this means that while a handful of titles were patched and updated to support it, there were a lot of games in the PS4's catalogue that didn't take advantage of the additional hardware that's in the PS4 Pro, and that's going to change now with boost mode. When you enable it, it will basically allow you to get a little extra polish out of a number of titles, well basically the entire catalogue of the PS4 that aren't specifically updated to use it, and this is really good news for people that have got a PS4 Pro or people that are planning to get a PS4 Pro, because it means you're going to get a lot more out of the hardware. Now, this is an option that can be enabled and turned off at any point, and the reason for that is there are some games that may break because you enable it. I think one game so far that a lot of people are talking about that doesn't really work with boost mode is Soma, the kind of underwater survival horror game. But a lot of games are seeing advantages from PS4 Pro, and this is really exciting news. Now, I can't actually show you anything running on boost mode because technically the PS4 firmware update 4.5 beta is under NDA, and while a lot of people are uploading video clips, I don't want to put the YouTube channel standing in jeopardy by uploading my own clips. You know, I'm going to honour the NDA, so any video you're seeing here is from original trailers or from just footage captured without boost mode turned on. But one thing that I can talk about is sort of the improvements that we're seeing so far, and I just wanted to mention a few of them. So for example, Destiny with boost mode turned on and doesn't really see any advantages in general performance and stuff like that, but it does get much faster loading time, which is a nice little bonus. Another game that sees an advantage is Fury, the free PlayStation Plus game from a while back, and that has much less screen tearing with boost mode on. Meanwhile, Grand Theft Auto 5 has a better frame rate when you're driving through the city through Los Santos, and Until Dawn is generally smoother as well. Even Yakuza 0, which released fairly recently, has a better frame rate and has less tearing as well. So basically, from what I've seen, practically every game with boost mode turned on sees some minor improvements. Assassin's Creed Unity is probably the most notable for that. We actually gave that game a 5 out of 10 when it released because the frame rate was so bad on the standard PS4, but the PS4 Pro's boost mode enabled, it actually runs fairly smoothly. It's worth pointing out that this isn't gonna considerably change the performance of games. You know, when boost mode the news about it first got out, you had people talking about Bloodborne suddenly going from 30 frames to 60 frames, and you're not going to get those kind of improvements. All this is going to do is kind of brute force the games to run that little bit better. So if a game was dropping a few frames in like difficult to process areas with lots of effects on screen and stuff, with the PS4 Pro boost mode enabled, it should be that little bit more steady, which is really nice. I think like this is probably one of the best ways Sony could have sold the PS4 Pro, and it's kind of fitting for the product that it didn't even bother to announce it. Sony's been very quiet about PS4 Pro since it launched. It's almost been scared of annoying existing owners of the original PS4, but features like this I think are really going to encourage people to make the upgrade if they want to, and I think that's the important thing. All of these games are obviously still designed with the standard PS4 in mind. Nothing changes, you know, whether whether a game like Grand Theft Auto 5 dropped frame rates on the existing PS4, it will always drop frame rate on the existing PS4. It's just the fact that the PS4 Pro is now offering that little bit extra boost in terms of power, and it's going to run that little bit smoother there with boost mode enabled. Now, I'm sure there's going to be more tests and more videos coming out over the coming weeks and months, and to be honest, when the NDA lifts on this beta, there's going to be an influx of kind of coverage on this thing. I think, you know, we're kind of, our hands are tied by what we can show so far because it is under NDA, and we're going to honour that NDA. But I just wanted to talk about it and sort of tell you some of the improvements that's seen so far. Basically, you're seeing a much smoother frame rate across the board, and some other nice touches like the reduction in screen tearing, faster loading times and stuff like that, which is really nice. It's not a game changer, it doesn't automatically make the original PS4 rubbish, and it doesn't make the PS4 Pro amazing. I mean, games that are patched specifically for PS4 Pro are always going to have better results because they'll be running at a better resolution, they'll be taking advantage of the hardware properly. But this boost mode is a nice extra option for those games that are in the catalogue that haven't been updated yet and probably aren't going to be updated yet. You know, The Witcher 3, they said they're not going to update The Witcher 3 for PS4 Pro, so at the very least with boost mode we'll hopefully see a smoother frame rate in some areas where that game struggled, which is really nice. But let me know whether this has convinced you that you need a PS4 Pro, or whether your stance on the system has remained exactly the same. Thanks for bearing with me while I get these videos out. It's been an annoying few days, but I think I'm back to my best, hopefully. And yeah, thank you so much for watching.